Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. We're doing part, I think it's 4. Posh coloring book inspired by nature. Okay, we're working on the squirrel page. We did the rocks. So we have this branch to do, this little, whatever you want to call this, bush type thing here, and our little squirrel friend. So I'm going to do this branch here. This is going to be an interesting little thing to do. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. But if you notice, the branch here is kind of done in kind of a gold color, but it's got kind of the same striation type things as that does. So we're going to do it kind of like we did the wood here, and then it's got the same kind of texture as whatever this is. This is going to be interesting too. Your eraser is going to be your friend on that, by the way. So, cream. We're going to stick cream down here on this. Do I need to get you down a little closer? I'm not sure here. Okay, cream on here to match the kind of yellow tones we've got going on. I had some down here before. Ooh, that one just goes in there. Okay, so we have cream. Then we're going to bring in the grays. And the grays are going to be on the bottom side. Maybe not this one because that barely shows up. So we'll grab a darker color. Maybe not quite that dark. Those are greens. Don't I have more grays here somewhere? Okay. Gray number 4, we're going to start with that. I have to sharpen it because this is kind of small. Okay, we're going to pull some lines up here. Just using the sharpest point of the pen. So, and then we'll just go in and darken this side. You'll be able to see the lines, yet not really see them. So I'll know where they are. I'm going to darken the top up here. Maybe pull some of that up a little higher. And definitely in here. Okay, we're going to work our way down, try to figure out what's going on here. This is a dark spot. So is that. And we'll put some lines in there too, and shadow up the bottom. In here, some lines. This one you can barely tell it's anything. There, and then it darkens down into there. The lines on the other side are so much smaller than these. There we go. Okay, we got some color. I'm going to throw some green in there, so we're bringing in the earth green. And the reason for that is you can't even tell that's a branch on that rock, so I want to add some color into it. And I think we'll throw in some brown. What do we have here? Brown ochre. There we go. Now you can tell at least it's a branch. May not look like the other side, but I want to know what it is. Okay. Throw in a little bit of cream. The highlight, or it's ivory, sorry. Highlight some areas there. Okay, and then we will bring in the darker gray. Well, we'll bring in dark sepia. We're really going to darken this side down here. You can see that, right? And then we'll pull up some of that color and some of those little lines. Okay, do the same thing down here. Down here. And there. Does this go over the rock? It's like a little bush there, a little part. So we're gonna leave that. Okay. I think that's all right. It's an extra little shadow there. We're going to take our soft disc gray. This is number 3. I don't think I had. Do I have number 2 out here? We'll try 2. We're going to just color in these little guys here. While I'm at it, I'm going to color in this whole kit and caboodle over on this side. Oh, sorry. Just going to get rid of that one. Call them back. Alright, we're just gonna make sure we get some grays in here. This is kind of like a star pushy, I don't know, pattern, so kind of make like little X's in here, hashtag it, or whatever you want to call doing that, cross hatching, I guess. So we're going to erase some of this color out after we get the color in. This is the number 3. So just go up another color and add in some depth down in here. Just get the color in. There's a really dark patch in here, so we can do that with a different color, or a dark patch here. So we're just trying to get some of this, some different colors in it. And in here, it's kind of dark around the edges. Oh boy. Like that, something. I don't know, we're still going to put more color in there. It almost has to be black down at the bottom. Okay. That looks good. Bring in some of the Payne's Gray. We're going to do our dark spots. They're in here. Kind of creep up on over here. Up in this area somewhere. Down in here. Throw a little of that in here too if we want. Throw some over here. And in here. Looks like a mess, doesn't it? I'm going to use the side of the pencil and just get that a little darker over in this area. Okay, we'll pull in some number 4 in the gray. Go back in with the number 3. This area down here. That's part of the rock, okay. I think we need a little more. Just blending that in there. Color in there though. So it really needs to be deeper in there. So we're going to pull in, it's almost blue. Why not? We'll throw in some of the dark indigo in here. Just a hint of it. It's a very light pressure. Kind of where it's the darkest. And put a little in these guys. Blend that in there. Whee! Okay, now I'm going to show you what I mean by bringing in the eraser. I have a new eraser tip, so it's got a flat edge on the front, and then you got these little points. We're going to use little points, and if I've shaded that enough, we should be able to get whiter points out of this. And we're just going to bring them in. Like leaves. Clean your eraser every now and then because you need to. You'll just be smearing black around or gray or whatever color we're doing here. You want it white. Kind of goes every which way over there, so you don't have to be too picky about where your color goes. You just want to make it so it looks fluffy. We're going to do that in here too. So you're going to pull some of these out. This one's a rather big one. I'll get that color out of the eraser again. Okay. Big mess, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to keep going here. pull it out into that rock. So we have to cover the whole thing like this. Sorry about that. Okay, for the most part, we have all the little guys in there. We're going to take in, not the indigo, we just want a dark gray in here. Don't want sepia. Don't want Payne's gray. I want the little gray. Okay, gray 4, I think, is what we're going to use. We're just going to go in between some of these little lines and darken some up, especially in these darker areas. Just go in between them. And you can get a even darker look on them. If you really need to get that darker, you can just go over some of those. Make it nice and dark. Smear it up a little bit, and you'll get a nice little gray tone on those leaves too. You can always go back in if you want to brighten some of those up and do that also. Basically, this is all we're going to do on these things. So in here, we're going to darken some of this up. I think I might need a black on this one. I'm not sure because these are so close to the color on the rocks. So we're going to put a little black in that. Definitely on these, I'm going to go back in. Gonna have to shade this one up a little bit better. This one almost looks like a little caterpillar. On the outside out here. Then we'll bring in our eraser and put some of those lines in that. I'm going to get that color out of there. I'll darken that one up a little out here. This one is number 3. Then we're going to pull in some dark sepia underneath here. Darken that up. Don't forget our shadow that's there. Looks to be one here I missed totally, so I'll stick him in. There we go. Okay, so I mean we figured out how we're doing this. We're just going to go in and darken some of these areas up. Accent our little lines. This is going to take a while. Bring in all sorts of different colors of the grays. And then if you think you are getting to covering up all these little white lines we put in, just go back in and add them in here and there, because we want it all bunchy like this. So go in, put in your color, come back out, do your thing. Like I said, this will take a couple layers of this to get it right. It's a little bit bigger spot than these little guys over here. Let's pull some of that rock color into this and it'll look a little fluffier. There's a shadow that comes down here. We want to keep that there. You could blend that too. Turn the book here a little bit and get that corner dark. Darken that so it looks like a little hill in our bush. Darken in here. Maybe a little more up here. Blend it all in and then go back with the eraser. Thinking that looks pretty good. I mean, it could be darker, but we are pulling a lot of that out. Just go in here and darken up some areas. Pulling a little black in here. Sorry, not talking. Just adding the black in little lines, and then it will go in and pull in some white ones over that, but leaving some of that black so it'll look like we have a shadow under there. And in between all of that, we will get our shadows. We do have to layer it though. But you get the hint of what I'm doing here. And we're just going to keep going over it until you're satisfied with your shadow areas in here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. It goes with my coloration of the rocks. So if you're just looking at this page, I think it looks good. If you're comparing it to that page, there's a lot more coloration going in here that I am not going to fiddle with on this side. I may add a little bit of the green, the earth green in here, because it is some kind of plant form. So I'll throw a little of that, say here and up in this area. And then I'll go over the eraser with it again. It's almost a gray. And then we'll just add in some more little lines in there, and I think that is good enough. I may fiddle with it, but to me that's good. We're going to put a little of that green up in this area too, just on the bottom side of these guys. And then if you want to add a few more of those in there, you can. All right. Yeah, best friend my eraser. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and leave that alone. If I fiddle with it, I'll take a picture at the end and let you see what it does. But we are going to work on Mr. Squirrel here. We need our browns. Lots of browns. Whee! Pull them all out. And we need some reddish colors because we have some reddish color in our fur. And on our tail we have some yellowish colors, so we'll grab these guys too. Okay. And the cream and the ivory. Okay. Move all my grays out of the way. We're going to start on tummy because we have to bring fur into our tummy. So I'm just going to go in with the ivory and we're going to put it where his fur is the lightest. So that'd be around his nose, on his nose, under his chin, top of this paw, top of this paw, this paw, this portion of his knee, of course his tummy. So we'll just fill in his tummy with this color. His ears up here. And some bits of this tail. So we're going to go around in a fuzzy pattern and just pull that into the tail. You can go in quite a ways because there's a lot of this in here, so base it up. There we go. There's a little on this side of his elbow. Here, this is more white, but under here is cream, and I think I got most of that. Okay, we're going to bring in I don't know if I need that one, and I definitely don't need that one. So our lightest color here is going to be brown ochre. And we're going to use it kind of sparingly here. This part is his foot. And then there's a part that comes up. I'm debating here. This part's his knee. Going to put a line in there. Then they have this way out here, but I don't think it goes way out there. I think it's more here. So I have to fudge that line a little bit. This side, this area is all dark. And the fur comes in this way and out this way. Then up this arm. The face starts about here. Goes up. We have an area here that has to be light. This area is dark. And then it comes out. The arm has got the dark area in here. His arm comes up into here. This is his hand. This is his other elbow. Hand is going to come out this way. Okay. Ta-ta-ta. This here comes out and about over on that side. All this is dark. All right. We're going to go in with Bistre. We're going to get it sharp because we have hair to put in. So the hair kind of goes this direction. Boom. So it'll go this way and this way according to this picture. Okay, so we're going to start with this Bistre here. I'm going to put some little hairs here, just a little bit. It's got kind of a speckled nose. We're going to leave it speckled. I'm going to go around his eye. I'm going to do that in black. Where's my black? Point. Okay, his eye is going to come down here. Nose. A little darkness there. Some of his fur, they have black lines in his cream. It's interesting. And then our fur up on his ears up here. Gonna add a little darkness in there. Okay. Now on his nose, we're just going to bring up some color here. This is the Bistre. Just doing this lightly so I know where everything goes. Tiny little hairs here. To the top of his ear here. This is also almost a base coat. These are really dark up in this area, but I want to get the fur going in the right direction, and I want to know where it's all going. And down his leg here. And the closer you get to his foot, the smaller your hairs have got to be. And just add in little hairs down here too. Make sure they're all going in the right direction. Just to make them look a little more real. Okay. Bring in another color. I'm going to add in a little red with the burnt sienna. Use a little of it right around his face here. And coming down this arm. Got a lot of it in here. Not much here, but we want to put a little in. Bring in our dark color. We have burnt umber. I need to make sure this stays dark here. Separating those. This is our shadow. Very lightly put in some lines there. Move a shadow under here. Of course, the shadow over here. And that goes all under his mouth up here. And his jaw there. Under his ear. Around the back side of his eye. It almost comes right up to his eye here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just going to keep putting colors in here. Walnut brown. I'm going to bring in some first thing that came across my mind was some Distress ink, which I don't see why I can't bring that in. I'm going to throw in a little bit of dark sepia here. This has to be darker. It's almost black. Darken up his eye a little bit more. There we go. Throw a little black in here. Bring a little cream in here. Ivory, sorry, I keep calling it cream. Okay, we're going to turn the book a little bit. Hit everything. And go this way. The color I picked up is the burnt sienna. Needs to be darker, I think. I'm using the burnt umber. Did I say that? I'm sorry. I'm trying to concentrate. I think that ear shape is a little off. It's supposed to come in here a little more. So we will add that in and color it in with a little bit of the brown ochre here to lighten it. Bring this portion of the ear out a little bit, like that. Okay. Black again. All right, let's see. What else do we have that's a little deeper? Yeah, we haven't thrown any. Okay, just keep sliding. Wee, the book's moving. Van Dyke Brown, I'll throw in a little of that too. And in this area. Just touching his mouth area with it. This area here will be darkened with his tail, so we have to bring some of that color out, but not too much. It's kind of a lighter color. This is darker though. He's looking kind of cute. Bring some of that down into his chest. Just going to lightly go over these areas where we need to get darker. I am no longer paying attention to what the other side looks like. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to be coloring in the little squirrel. Just noticed I haven't looked over there in ages. I mapped out my colors and that's where they're going to go. That's going to be the darkest, and over here, going down his knee. So I'm just going to lightly put the black in on those spots. Can go up on his head. This is going to be his darkest spot here. We're going to blend that in a little bit. go back in with some brown ochre. Very lightly put in this color. Okay. Sorry this is taking forever. It's 51 minutes into a squirrel. So we're going to do his body today. Tomorrow, I don't know. We could do his tail, or I could do his tail off camera. I could do a little bit of it. This one is Van Dyke Brown. Go under his fingers. His hand is a little odd, but I mean, he's holding on to something, so. Okay, then I'm going to bring in very sharp, I'll try to be like a sharp ivory in this area. Make sure that's got some kind of shadows going on in here. Like a shadow here and a shadow here. So I'm going to bring that in with a gray. The gray number 2, if I can find it. Okay. We're just going to darken up and shadow some of this. then we are just going to darken the whole kit and caboodle. And I think I will get out a little bit of distress ink just to speed it up a bit. So, pick our color wisely. I'm going to use a little tool and some vintage photo. Let's see. So this is just I'll leave it in the description box. It's called a mini detail blending tool from Ranger. So we're going to take a little of this and we're just going to plop it in. Did I get? I should probably use the brown side. There we go. Put a little in there. I'm going to put a little in here. The only thing with distress ink, if you're going to add color in, is you cannot get it out unless you add water. So be careful where you're going to stick it. That need to stand out. And a little back here. So I won't be doing it on the tail because I want those white details. Throw a little on his tummy here though. Okay, that's about as much of that as I want to put on. We have some Walnut Stain, which is really dark. Which side of this? It's going to give me a darker color. There we go. So I'm going to put a little of that around his face up here, in that ear, under his chin here. Knee, just like we did, but on this arm, it's not coming out as dark as it should. But it's also going on top of pencil, so usually you do it the other way around. Okay, that's enough of that. Gonna give it a quick little dry. I don't want to smear it where I don't want it. Go back in with the burnt umber. We can go over that with the ivory. Little hair marks in it. Then darken in the other areas. I'll do that with black here. Just get those lines going out here. Bring in a darker brown there. Okay. If you want to bring in any lightness in the face or anything, you have two options. You can either use a white. This is not, yeah, it is white. Add it in around the eyes and pull some of that fur out. Put some lines in to brighten up areas, especially like around the hands. Lighten up, say, the spots here. If you want, you can also bring in a slicing tool and pull out some of that color in specific areas. It will work with the Distress ink because there is pencil underneath. I'll leave a link for this tool too, if you would like to know where to get it. But it can add in some fur texture. It also scratches the paper a little bit, so if you wanted to go over it, you'll still get that texture underneath. Okay. So say like this is really dark and you wanted to put some extra fur lines in it, just scratch off some of that. Put some in. Okay, we're just going to shape up his hands a little bit. So we're going to go on the bottom and shadow up those little guys. Okay, just a tiny bit more black in there, or some gray or something, because we need to darken this area still up a little bit. So this is warm gray 4. Little gray in those feet too. Blend it all kind of together. We're going to bring in a Posca and do his eye, if I can find one that works. Okay, bring in a little black. It's around here somewhere. We've got to darken up his toenails. When I do that, let's see, does he have one on all these toes? Then I darken up the underside of his toe there. One on that one. One there, and you can't see that one, so darken it and then darken up the bottom half of his toe. So you can see all those. Touch up anywhere you want. You think it needs to be a little darker. Add some more fluff in his ears if you want to. We'll throw some brown in that when we get to the tail. Which, if you want this a really, really long one, this is 1 hour and 11 minutes plus something. I'm going to have to do the tail off camera, but it's going to be done the same way as the fur on this little guy. Just adding the dark colors, keeping kind of in this line that kind of goes down like that. So this is longer fluff, which will make it easier. So we'll just be pulling in fluff in like that and out like that. We will probably just kind of color this in and use an eraser like we did on the bush over here and get some of those white highlights in there. And it'll be really dark in this area down here. We'll even pull some of those lines into its fur here when we darken it, and then lighten those with the slicing tool. So I'll darken up this area on this side with this pencil. This is black. I want that to be the tip, so we have this little arch going here. Of course, I colored over all the lines that were there, so we don't have to worry about those anymore. A little Bistre in there. I kind of want to finish this. Throw in some Van Dyck. This side of the tail is a little darker, so we'll actually just rub some of that in there too. Okay, another brown ochre. Okay, we're going to add a little cream go back in with the dark brown, walnut brown. Put a little more pressure on this pencil. Bring some of that into him. Make it look like his fur is not a straight line there. Really darken some spots. Okay, go back in with the black. Darker on this side. Well, because his tail's curling, I would assume. Just a little more in here. Okay, I'm going to rub this in. Get all those blended and kind of fuzzy, because he's a fuzzy dude. All right, now we're going to pull in, either one of these tools will work. You can pull in some of these scratches with this tool. You can bring in your eraser. We're going to have to use some Posca there. Get rid of that line. Fluff these ears up a little bit more with a little of that Posca too. Okay, then you bring in the color. Any color. Without dropping it. This one is the Bistre. And I'm just going to go over those white ones. A little of that color. Okay, gonna go over this. Sorry about the noise outside. It's garbage day. Just like that. I'll probably work on them a little more just to get them a little darker, but that is generally it. So there we go. I got the two. I will just finish up getting it just a little bit darker in this area down here. Maybe just a little fluffier. But that'll be it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Take care, everyone. Bye now.